right. Yeah, my name is Monica. On behalf of our Muda property team, I would like to thank you, each and every one of you, for joining our Muda property online workshop today. So this workshop will take approximately 45 minutes. And if you have any questions, we have muted you. Don't be shocked. The reason we mute you is because we want to make the whole workshop can run smoothly. Let's say you have any questions, you may raise through the chat room. Our colleagues, Aaron, Wei Pings, and Lisa, and as well as my boss, Carissa, and other teammates will assist you and reply you as soon as possible. So I'm not the speaker of today. So introduce of the day. His name is Mr. Wei Lik. So he's marketing specialist in mudah.my, and he will be doing the sharing for the day. Pass the to Mr. Wei Lik now. Thank you.
Thank you, Monica. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Wei Lik, and I'm in charge of the Mudah Property online marketing campaign. So I understand that many of you here want to know what Mudah Property has done online to promote your ad listing. So I hope my sessions today can answer some of your questions here. Now, before I start on the topic today, I just want to share with you Mudah Property's journey from 2017 until now. So back then in August 2017, about 2.5 years ago, so we officially launched Mudah Property. So we had only one aim, which is to become Malaysia's #1 property platform. So fast forward to 2020. So we have become Malaysia's #2 property site, according to Comscore, in terms of total unique visitors. So we are not far behind, and the gap between us and the top is actually getting closer and closer if you look at the graph. Okay. Now, from our data, it seems like we are heading in the right direction because we are seeing an increase in leads by 67% if we compare 2017 versus last year, 2019. So now the question is, how did we do it? So this is what we will be covering today. How first we want to show you how Mudah Property acquire users. Second, we want to let you know how you can take full advantage of our online activities. Now let's start with how Mudah Property acquires users. So basically, we invested heavily in building the Mudah Property brand experience. So I'm sure all of you have seen at least one of our brand building activities, such as the billboard on highways or on tall buildings. We did cinema advertising, we did content marketing, we did videos. And then this section here in the middle is digital marketing, is what we will be going through later. So we have search advertising, web banner advertising, and social medias. Last but not least, the agent program, which we really, really treasure and value, because without you guys, we are nothing. We wouldn't be what we are today. So I would like to take this opportunity to say thank you so much to all our agents for supporting us. Now, moving on. This chart here shows how we get prospective buyers and sellers to Mudah Property. So if you look at the center, the Mudah Property logo there, so we have 2.7 million unique visitors every month on Mudah Property. And there are three main sources that actually contribute to this number. Now, first is the internal Mudah user, the one at the top with Mudah logo. So Mudah has a combine of over 8 million unique visitors monthly. That is like a quarter of the Malaysian population. It's like every 4 people, there is one person browsing Mudah. So this group of Mudah users are here with a strong intent to buy, sell, or rent because they come straight to our site. And there are many of them actually come straight to Mudah Property to look for properties. And in addition to that, there are also situations where visitors who are browsing other categories on Mudah. For example, like maybe a user who is looking at the jobs category on Mudah, then decided to check out Mudah Property, thinking that, okay, maybe I want to rent a new house that is nearer to my new workplace. Or maybe another example, like a user who is looking at a house repair service on Mudah, fed up of keep on repairing his house, then jump to Mudah Property to sell his old house and look for a new house. So that's the first traffic source. Now, the second traffic source, which is at the bottom left, the online people who are interested in property. So this one here is what we will be covering later on. So we reach these people through videos, banners, content marketing, social medias, and search. So I will elaborate a little bit on our strategy on this in the presentation later. And the last one, retargeting, the one on the right. So some of you may have heard of this term. Some of you may even seen it, but didn't know it is a retargeting. So retargeting is basically means we show your Mudah Property ads to people who have shown an interest to it on other non-Mudah channels. For example, you have seen some property ads on Mudah. After you leave Mudah platform, then these property ads that you saw on Mudah earlier resurface back on your social medias or on your site banners on some websites. So yes, that's retargeting. And again, we will cover this a little bit more in the presentation later. Now, we will dive deeper into online marketing strategy. So we plan our strategies based on the marketing funnel. So if you Google search marketing funnel models, right, there are tons of different funnel models available out there. But in general, it is mainly about these three stages: prospecting, consideration, and conversion. So before we show you our plan for each of the funnel, let me introduce to you our main character for today, Mr. David. Not a real person, just a fictional character that we create to help us to explain how we cover the whole marketing funnel. So some background on David. So he just got married, he's staying with his in-laws, and he has been thinking of moving out with his wife. And he doesn't know much about mudah.my, and we'll show you how we guide him through our marketing funnel. Okay, the first stage, prospecting stage, grabbing the attention of consumers. So basically, our main goal here is to grab the attention of the consumer, and at the same time, trying to establish our Mudah Property brand existence in the mind of consumer. So we want to be the top of mind of our consumer when it comes to buying, selling, or renting property. Now, how can we make a new consumer or someone who doesn't know much about Mudah Property, like Mr. David, to be aware of our brand? So this is where we run the awareness campaign, such as video campaigns targeting property intenders. So we ran our video campaigns targeting people who may have an intent of buying or renting properties. So for example, like people who experience life event changes, like newlyweds or getting married soon. So these people may look for a new house. Or someone who may be in college looking for a new place to rent. Or maybe someone who just changed his job and want to look for a room near to his or her workplace. So all these are some of the targeting that we use to find them. I know some of you may be thinking like, prospecting campaign is like, what's so special, you know? You just target everyone and then just run only lah. I mean, what's so special about prospecting campaign? Actually, it's not as simple as that. Why? It's because you see here we have different messages for different property intenders. So we have these young couples, we have these urban migrator videos, we have these urban upgraders videos, we have first-time room renter, LRT property seekers, family upgraders. Yeah, so we customize this message because we know that every audience has different pain points. So we want to highlight their interests, their needs and problem, and how Mudah Property can solve all that. So in the interest of time, I can play one video here. I hope you guys can hear the audio. Let me try. Yep, that is just one of the many videos that we have produced. Oh, there's another video I want to show you guys here. Let's watch it first.
Sorry, really, to cut you off a bit. I think we can't seem to hear the sound of the video.
Sorry?
We can't hear the sound of the video.
Oh, I see. Okay. Let me see if there's anything I can do. Okay, but for this one, can you hear? Let me replay this again. Can you guys hear this, Monica?
No, I can't. I can't hear it. I still can't hear it. Did you share the audio to everyone? I mean, yeah, of course, because we can hear what you say, right? Just that we can't seem to hear what's in the YouTube.
I see. Okay. Okay, never mind. I think in the interest of time, I think I just because there's some subtitles in the video, so I think maybe you guys can just bear with it for now and just watch the video without audio, because I just want to explain like we have different messages for different audience. So yeah, so let me just, is that okay, Monica? Is that okay if I play the video without audio?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I think as well as the agents also can find it from YouTube,
Yes, you
right?
can actually find it on our YouTube. Actually, it's there. It's there. You can find it. So okay, let me just play this video one more time. Yep, just give me a moment. Yep. So the reason so basically I just give a brief summary of what that video that I just played all about. So it's about this newly married couple. So they stay together with the in-laws, and then the in-laws, like nagging them and stuff like that. So so this main character here, he has no idea. He want to move out, but he couldn't find a way of moving out. So and then that's where he came across mudah.my, Mudah property, and that's where he find his dream home. So the reason I play this video is because I want to link this back to the fictional character that we introduced just now. So imagine our main character today, Mr. David, see this video. Okay, so the message of the video echoes his thought, and that is when he started to know like mudah.my as a site to buy, sell, or rent property. So that's how the stage one of the funnel. Okay, next. Now, stage two of the marketing funnel, consideration stage, identifying and building prospect. So now that we make Mr. David aware of Mudah property, So how can we make sure that he browses Mudah property the next time he's researching for houses? So there are two parts to this. One is search ads, another is lookalike retargeting. So let's start with search ads. Most of the time, a consumer will do research before they purchase something. I mean, there is no research without search, right? So according to a study, 64% of Malaysians use a search engine to help them in the purchase process. And we all know who is the largest search engine in Malaysia. Yes, it's Google. So we Mudah knows the importance of Google search. And therefore, we try to make sure that we are there whenever consumers search property-related search terms. So some people say like, running search ad is very easy one. Just set up ads, put in keywords, put in a bidding price, settle. Actually, it's true, but to run a good performance Google search ad is not easy. So now you see this screenshot here on the right. So this is a screenshot of our Google AdWords account. So I have blurred the keywords because the keywords are not the main point here. So, but you can see the last column, the max CPC, the maximum cost per click. So you see how many different keywords bid price we have for each of the keyword. You see we have 19 cents, 42 cents, 1 ringgit also got 1 ringgit 36 cents. So all bidding price are different for different keywords. They are different because we optimize them based on how performing this keyword is. So what you're looking now is maybe just 20 keywords that I screenshot. But in our account, we have thousands of keywords. So we have invested in some technology to ensure our search ads are well optimized. And our ads are shown to people who are most likely to perform an action that we want. Okay. Now, these are just some examples of how our search ad looks like. Imagine our main character, Mr. David, try to look for houses for sale in Cheras. So when he search in Google, he may come across with our ads and recalls, oh, mudah.my as a place to buy, sell, or rent property. So we'll click ads and land on our website and browse. Now, the moment Mr. David lands on our website or page, right, that's where the second part of our strategy, which is lookalike retargeting, comes in. So just now I mentioned there is two parts to the consideration funnel, right? One is the search ad, another is this lookalike retargeting. So I believe some of you may have heard of this term before, lookalike retargeting. So basically how it works is that, our website can pick up all the signals. We can pick up signals from all the activities done by a user. So from the signals, we can group this user into different audience profile that we define. So what we do next is we get our system to create a lookalike or similar audience based on the audience profile that we have created. So this screenshot here at the top is how our lookalike audience profile looks like. Let me use this screenshot for illustration purpose. So for example, we have identified a group of audience who constantly browse Mudah ads on Mudah. So let's call this audience Mudah property visitor audience. So what we can do is we get our audience system to create a lookalike or similar audience based on this audience here. So in other words, right, it's like we are asking our system to go out there and find users who may behave or act like our existing Mudah property visitors. So after the system study the data that we have, it comes up with some number. So this lookalike audience here in the screenshot has 62.2K audience in Google Display, 3.69K users on Gmail, and so on. So after I see this, right, okay, I tell the system to target this new lookalike audience this new lookalike audience using Google Display banner, since it has a decent audience size. So with this lookalike audience targeting, some consumers who are actively looking for property but may not know about Mudah or never visited Mudah suddenly started seeing Mudah ads. So because of this lookalike audience, we know that you behave like our existing user. and we want to let you see the property deals that we have and trying to get you on board to browse Mudah property. So this screenshot at the bottom here are some of the ads that we push to audience who are considering or researching for property. It can be on different channels, it can be on Facebook, Instagram, display banner, etc. Okay. Now, the third stage of the marketing funnel, the conversion stage, encourage action. So this is a stage where we are trying to convert a prospect into a buyer. So how can we make this potential buyer to make an inquiry on our property ads? So this is where the retargeting campaigns comes in. So like I mentioned in the previous stage, once a user landed on our site, we can group them into different audience profile. So earlier in the stage of consideration, I mentioned that we will use lookalike audience or similar audience. So in this conversion stage, we will remarket our property ads to users who have actively interact with our property listing. For example, like viewing individual property ads or make inquiries to the property ads. So now I'm going to show you one of our audience profile screenshot. So just now I said every user that come to our site, we group them into audience profile. So this is what I was talking about. So for every profile that we created, right, we can see what is this user's behavior, what did he browse, what is he interested in. Okay, for example, like looking at this sample profile here, I know that this group of audience has 79% of them is interested in house. If you look at line number 4, 79% of them is interested in house. So I know that how many thousands of such audience available. I mean, I blurred the number here because actually there are not numbers there. So yeah, and I also can inspect further on their demographic. Okay, so their gender, age group, household income, how many children, education level, etc. All this information we can actually deep dive in and check. So we use all this info to determine if we want to retarget our ads to this group of audience or not. I hope it's clear. Okay, next, these are some sample remarketing ads that we use on social medias and display banner. So using back our example of Mr. David, so we know that he landed on our site and looked at, for example, Chera's houses. So what we do is we group him into an audience profile and we can remarket those houses that he is interested in back to him on social media and display banner on third-party sites. So we want to remind David that, like, hey, these are the property you were interested in. So we are going to show them to you again, as well as other similar houses that you may be interested in, so that you have more options to look at and also make the best decision. So he will keep on seeing our ads and eventually convert. Yeah, so we have covered the whole marketing funnel from prospecting all the way to conversion. So we have shown you how we get someone like Mr. David from not aware of Mudah property to start using, researching, and eventually buying with us. Okay, so now that you know the online marketing funnel of Mudah property, so what can you do to take full advantage of it? Long answer short, make your property ads on Mudah better. Make sure that your property ad is really, really well crafted and good quality. So you see, we can invest money on search engine, social media, display banner, and whatnot to bring you additional exposure. But at the end of the day, right, it is your ads that actually determine whether you get an inquiry. You can help us by creating a good property ad to support our online marketing effort. Okay, property listing best practices for online advertisement and SEO impact. So in the coming slides, I will show you what are the best practices for your Mudah property ads so that they look good and perform well from the point of view of our online advertisement and also SEO. Now, a brief intro on SEO. So SEO is a search engine optimization. So it is a way to get your page to rank or to appear in Google search result page organically, not the paid one at the top there. It's organic results. So you see in every pages, right, in every ad, there are two types of viewers. So one is the users like me and you, people. So another is the search engine spiders from Google, Bing, and Yahoo. So users like me and you, we read the content on the surface of the page. We can see the nice website design, we read the text, we see the image, we see the price. But as for search engine spiders, right, actually they also can read the information on the page, but they do it via backend. So they go through the page code. They identify what is the ad title to know what is this page all about, identify the description to see what is this offer about, and so on. So then after the spider got the information, so they know what is this ad about, what is the title, what is the description. So they will send the info back to the search engine server, and the page will be displayed on search engine result when it matches with what people search on search engine. So that is a very, very brief introduction on how SEO works. So basically, your goal here is to make sure that your content on the Mudah advertisement is readable by both the users and the spider. Okay, best practice one. Make the best photo as cover photo. I know you have heard this like many times, but seriously, you should always use your best photo as cover photo. Why? Okay, let me show you an example of our Facebook ads that feature some of our Mudah property listing here. So this one on the left. So this property is covered by the tree and the guard post. I mean, there must be a better angle than that, right? I mean, just by looking at this photo, I cannot even get a proper front view of the property. Okay, and this one at the center, this looks like a satellite image of the house. So yeah, I understand sometimes it is difficult to get good photos, but like this particular example here is really not enticing. It doesn't bring out the best element of the house. So when your property got featured on our Facebook ads, it's a bit rugi because your property now got featured on our Facebook ad. And when you compare this image, right, this satellite image versus the other properties featured next to you, it's like people don't even bother want to look at the satellite image. So even though the price looks good, right, like bungalow 500k, but the image totally turned me off. And if you just think of it, right, when the Facebook users see an image like that, they straight away ignore your listing. And you lost your chance of getting a click from there. And there are times where we remove those property with bad quality images from our Facebook ad because it is hurting the ad experience and potentially drag down our click-through rate as well. So yeah, so this is very important. Cover image is really important. So if you look at the one at the right, wow, this one, I see the photo, I also feel like I want to click open to check out already. Good lighting, nice angle, totally stands out and attract all the eyeballs. So yeah, this is a very good cover photo. This one here, okay, just now we were looking at from the social media's Facebook ads point of view. So now we look at the image quality from the display banner as point of view. Display banner are those banner that appear, at the sidebar, at the bottom, on some websites. Okay, so if you look at the one at the top here, this one here, this is a bit pity because the name and the box are blocking the actual image. So although she got the whole banner space for herself, potential buyer didn't really have a good look of the property. So people may just like overlook it, and she basically lost the chance to get a click. Now, if you look at the one at the bottom, the images are clean, nice to look at. I would very likely click in to have a look at that property listing. Yeah. Okay. Let's move on. Okay, just now we were looking at the ads from a user's point of view, a user's perspective. So now, what about the search engine spider? So apparently, this spider may not be able to interpret whether this image is nice or not, but it is able to tell you how many images this ad has. So if you have used Google Images before, right? So this is where Google Images get the images lah. So basically the logic is the more images you put in, the higher chance of your ad appear in Google Images search result. So the conclusion is try to put in as many images as you can and increase your chance of appearing in a Google Images result page. Okay, best practice 2. Put in informative and attractive ad title. A general rule of thumb is that your title should be informative and able to give a prospective buyers a brief idea of your property. So it's like the first impression. So it should have the name of the property, the type, location, and if you want a bit of USP. So the ad title should not be too short and also not too long until you squeeze every single keyword that you can think of. Because if you spam keywords in your title, you may lose the chance to put in other information that is important due to the character limit. And you probably also realize that Facebook and banner ads, right, has a character limit for title. So they don't show the full title of your ad. I think they have character limit of like maybe 35 to 40 for title. So if you don't put your important info at the front, right, so when your title get cut off in half, then the first half of the title may not say much about your property. Okay, so let's look at the example on the left. So this title here doesn't tell me much about this property. So selling your house with professional something. So it seems like the seller is trying to promote that he can help you to sell the house rather than like telling you what is this house all about. But this is the wrong place to do it, because you are supposed to talk about the property you are selling, not your selling service. And frankly speaking, if I see this property listing appear on my Facebook, right? So I may remove this property from my Facebook ad because the title, the property listings title is actually clashing with my Facebook ad messages. So my message is like, find your house here. Then this ad is like house selling service. Then people may get confused. Okay. Now let's look at the one on the right. So the title is precise and clear. Puchong Semi-D Terrace Double Story. Not much I can comment there. That's a very proper title. Okay, let's move on. Okay, another example of ad title quality. So this time we are looking at from the display banners perspective. So the one at the top here, BK8 Emerald. So BK8 Emerald, actually there is no error lah. But the problem is because he or she is not utilizing all the space in the title, right? So the title can be, the title can be more complete lah. Maybe he or she can put something like, like Emerald BK8 Puchong, 2-story houses, etc. Just to make full use of the space there. And now if you look at the one at the bottom, now this one is good. Title is clear, straightforward. Place is Menggatau. Property type is 2-story terrace. Property name is Gayamas 118. located in Panampang. So this one is good. Clean, precise, and clear title. So these are some of the very good samples here. Okay, now what about search engine spider? So what do they think about the ad title? So if you look at the ad title here, this example here, Rumah with Residency Desa Satu Mas Taman Desa Mid Valley Bangsa. So when the spiders see this, right, they would be confused. So where is this property located? Taman Desa, Mid Valley, or Bangsa? And when the spiders are confused, right, they wouldn't be able to do their job right. So they won't be able to like properly pair your title with a suitable search query. So you think that by spamming keywords in title, like just spam keywords Taman Desa, Mid Valley, Bangsa, hopefully it will appear somewhere, right? You think by doing that could get you more chances of showing in search result, right? I'm sorry, actually it doesn't work that way. So you may get penalized because the spider doesn't know like what is this title all about. Now let's look at the next example. Yes, this one, Vista Millennium Condominium Puchong Perdana. So the title is quite straightforward. The spider can easily understand. So the Vista Millennium is the name, condominium is the type, location is Puchong Perdana, easily. Okay. Now we move to best practice 3. Clear and informative ad description and USP. Okay, so you managed to get people to go to your ads, in Mudah. So the thing you need now is to make sure that the description matches with the ad title and is informative and easy to read. So you don't put your ad title something like ABC condominium, and then in your ad description you actually offer some other property. So that doesn't match. So in ad descriptions, right, you should try to put in all the USP there, because for me, I think ad description is like a sales pitch. So you can put something like all the USP, basically like density of the area, any school nearby, accessible of public transport, is the price negotiable or not, nearby amenities, nearby town, how many km from certain landmarks, and so on. You see, there are so many things you can put there. So all these are actually will get you a higher chance of getting a conversion, or getting an inquiry. Okay, so an example here. Okay, a very short description, 3 lines and done. Not the best practice. Maybe can put a bit more info, like the selling points that I mentioned just now. Okay, next example. This is a good ad description. So he shares some details about the properties, like the facilities available, nearby school, the condition it is in, and a few more other things. So all this information is organized in a proper point form format, which make it easier to read. So I think this is a good ad. This is a good ad description. Now, what about our spider friend? So search engine spider, the thing they like is they like content. So if you give the spider like one-liner, like the example here, right? So chances are they will think that your page is not informative enough and not worth showing in search engine result page. So yeah, that's how search engine spider actually think of content. Now this is what spider likes. Well-organized informative content, but I'm not saying we have to write essay. So just write whatever information that is enough to describe your property and your USP. That's all. Don't go and spam keywords repeatedly or copy other people's content into your ads, because once spider bring the info back to their server, right, they will compare the content and penalize those with copied content and those with keyword spamming. So when I say penalize, the search engine probably think that you purposely trying to game the system. and therefore don't want to show your page on the search engine. So very important, don't try to cheat the spider. They crawl billions of pages every day, and they know the pattern of pages that purposely trying to game the system. I mean, I wouldn't do that if I were you. I wouldn't try to put in spam keywords in my ad descriptions. Just use the keyword like normally. Don't purposely every 2 lines you put that keyword, every 2 lines you put that keyword. It doesn't work that way. You will get penalized for that. So, okay. Now, before I end my presentation here, I hope you guys see the values and the effort that the Mudah Property team is putting in to ensure your ads get the exposure that is required. So we and you need to work hand in hand to achieve a common goal. So it's very important that when we get you the exposure, you get the sales lead through your quality ad listing. And when you get sales lead, you are happy, we are happy, because our user will start to think Mudah has lots of good quality property listing, and they will come back to Mudah for more. So yeah, that's how the cycle works basically. It has been a pleasure to speak in front of you all. I hope everyone understands a little bit more about how our online marketing works in general. So thank you so much for attending this workshop, and thank you so much for your patience. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Now I pass back to Monica for Q&A session.
Thank you, Wei Lik, for sharing with us and all of this. I hope these informations are useful enough. So I think we have a lot of the questions raised by the crowd to Wei Lik mainly. Okay, so mainly I think let me raise the questions one by one to you. We'll try to cover all the questions as much as you can. But however, due to the deadline, the timeline, we will cut at 11:30. We will find whatsoever way to actually attend to your questions. So I think the first question is from Alicia Chan. So how do you measure the conversion? I think they are curious of how do we measure the conversions from the efforts that we did through the online marketing.
Oh, sorry, just now I didn't mention what is our conversions, right? So conversions in our case is an inquiry. For example, people who contact you, people who call you, these are conversions basically for us. So I hope that answers the questions.
Okay. So I think we have another one that I think a lot of the people are so curious about. How does this spider works? Does it capture the title only? Does it capture the contents? Does it capture the pictures? And will it help? I think these are the questions mainly from KM Ho and I think Cindy as well. And as well as I think Richard also mentioned whether or not does it encourage that they can include the rename the image, like they put a search engine, the search keyword on the, like they rename the image with the subword like taman or whatsoever. Does it help in terms of the spider view?
Yeah, actually, yes, that's a very good point that they raised up there. So image, you can put the relevant image name. For example, let's say this one is a kitchen, so you say like, for example, like ABC condominium kitchen, for example. I mean, you can put that, no issue. It will help actually. So, but the main thing I want to highlight here is that the ad title and the ad description is super important when it comes to from the view of spider, because the spider look at the content. So they look at the content, they need to understand the content. So if your content is like very not organized, very messy, you spam keywords, so this will actually affect the spider's work. So when the spider doesn't really get the content right, what is this offer about? What is this page about? So that's where they have problem pairing your content, your ads, your page with the search engine queries. Like people who search for something, it's very difficult for them to pair. So if you ask me, I think ad title and ad description is something you should really put a lot of attention to, because these are the one that spider spend more time checking. And like I mentioned, ad title, try to put in the as many relevant information as possible, like property location, property name, property type. All these are relevant. Descriptions, the facilities, the all the USPs and whatnot. I think it's very relevant.
Okay, thanks, Felix. We have more. So I think from Kesh Ho again, and as well as he enhanced his questions. So he said that since that Muda is paid, it's a paid ad, and we are paying to push up the rank in the Muda page. Why do they need to spend so much time to write a good title and good content? So can you emphasize it? I think there are a lot more questions from the crowd as well, and I think they are also curious.
Sorry, Monica, can you repeat just the question again? The line was breaking just now, so can you repeat again?
So sorry, my line is not stable. I think Mr. KM Ho is like very curious. Why is that so important? Since they are paying for the advertisement, why is it so important for them to write a good title and a good content? Since that we are doing the paid ad to bring more traffic to their ads. And then he does has a questions as well that he think that he has done enough on the content and the title, but then will the advertisement to be ranked higher? Does it help?
Now, I think let me try to understand the question. Okay, so the first part of the question, I think my response would be this. So you're saying that you guys paid Muda to put an advertisement, and then we also do our own Facebook advertisement. So yeah, why should we spend so much effort in writing our content and whatnot, right? So the answer to that is so you see we do Facebook advertisement, we do all this display banner advertisement. We cannot change your property listings, titles, and description. So like the samples that I showed you just now earlier, right? You can see your title is the exact same title that we use. It's not we create the title for you. The only thing that we change is our Facebook ad, the description at the top, not the listing, the listing is still your own wording, it's still your own title. And then you ask why ad description, why should we spend so much effort in ad description? So we bring you traffic, your ad description is like a sales page. So if you don't, write a good sales page, right, put in all your USP, then basically all this effort that we put in to bring in the traffic become like not so worth it lah. So because your ad description is supposed to be a sales page, it's supposed to convince people, okay, this is the reason why you should contact me to get to view our room, to view our property, and then you list down all your USP. So that's why ad description is very important, because it's your sales page, it's where you get all the lists, it's where you convince your people to convert. The second part of the question, if I didn't remember wrong, sorry, I actually cannot remember what's the second part of the question. Monica, can you repeat?
I think the customers is actually asking. Wait, let me find back the question.
Sorry.
Okay, so he says that he is putting a good title and good contents and spend a lot of the money to even renew the advertisement. Will the advertisement rank higher at the first place, at the first page on top of the page? So I think the question is to understand what sort of the key to make sure as much as they can that their ranking is higher in terms of the listing.
Okay, if you are asking about the ranking, right? If the ranking you are referring to is a Muda property listing ranking, then I mean every time when you renew, when you bump, of course it will be higher lah. But this doesn't really affect the ranking or the chances of showing in our external advertisement like Facebook ads or display banner ads. It doesn't affect. So yep, I hope I answer the question correctly.
So and then Jaen has a question. So any criteria that Muda system will help us to promote our advertising in Facebook sponsored platform? I think they want to know the criteria of how did their advertisement will be able to show on our Facebook ads.
Oh, okay. So if I understand your question correctly, so basically you are asking like how to increase the chance of your Mudah property listing appear on our Facebook ads or display banner ads, right? So in general, it depends on how good or how popular your ads on Mudah property listing is. So so if your Mudah property ad is good quality, the property is good value for money, naturally there will be more buyers looking at your ad and making inquiries on Mudah. And then just now I mentioned about remarketing, right? So and then when these potential buyers will look at your properties, right, when they leave Mudah platform and visit, like for example, Facebook, Instagram, or other websites, right? So the remarketing campaign, our remarketing campaign will be reactivated to retarget your property ads to this potential buyer. So in other words, the more people who view your ads on Mudah property, the higher the chance of your property listing showing in our Facebook ad or display banner ads. Yeah, I hope it's clear.
Yes, I think yeah, another one. Does hashtag in the description help?
Does the hashtag in the description helps in terms of search engine or Mudah property listing? In terms of search engine, I don't think it makes too big of a difference because hashtag normally you stick all the wordings together, right? It's not like there's a proper spacing and whatnot, right? So I don't think it has any impact on search engine. But in terms of Mudah property, that is another story lah. Yeah.
Okay, so I think I can help to answer these questions. Correct me if I'm wrong, Wei Lik. I think there is a customer who asked about the bracket on the title. Does it get more views? So I think Wei Lik, the customers is asking if let's say on the title they put the bracket, they put some special character, will it attract the viewer more?
Special characters, I think it will grab the attention, but I wouldn't recommend it you use it too often, because at the end of the day, right, it's about telling people what is your property all about. It's not about like putting like special characters just to get the attention, because at the end of the day, it is your title. If your title actually matches with what people are searching, eventually they will click in and open. So I mean, you can do that lah, but I wouldn't recommend you too much lah. I wouldn't think that it actually has a very major impact in affecting your ad performance lah.
Okay, thank you, Wei Lik. I think those are the questions that more relevant to the topic for today. So before we end the workshop today, I think I have not mentioned that actually Mudah has created these insights at mudah.my. So I think you can see on your screen, which is insight.mudah.my. These are the blog that Mudah created, and we actually spend a more effort to create a lot of content that will benefit to our agents. We will suggest you to have a look. You can feel free to visit our blog, as well as our Mudah Property team has already created a Facebook page called Mudah Property with Agent. Please follow us. We will keep our updates on the Facebook page. And I think for the last few sessions of our workshop, there are some slides we also updated into the Facebook. I think it will be good if let's say you guys go and follow our Mudah Property with Agent Facebook page. And before we end, so I'd like to seek for your help to every one of you. Please help us to fill up the survey. And once you have completed the survey and submitted to us, our team will actually send you the slide. Of course, due to the confidential, because there are some informations we are unable to share you in the full slides, but we will shorten it, and especially I think we will cover the point where how can you benefit from the online marketing. We will give you the do's and don'ts that will help you to have a better practice to capture higher view and to do a better practice to get more leads moving forward. And yeah, once again, on behalf of the Mudah Property team, we would like to thank you again for staying until now, the end of the workshops, and we hope that you will find the workshops and the ideas that we shared useful and yes, I think there is one more questions about the spider. Let me see. So yeah, can I know which one is the last questions, Aaron? Or we can take, due to the time concern, I think we can take the question separately. So last but not least, I would like to take this opportunity to wish all our Muslim friends happy Ramadan. Okay, as also wishing everyone to be a blessed with great strength and courage to win every strength in life, especially during this difficult period of time. So take care everyone and stay safe everyone. So please help to share your feedback. Your feedback is very important to us. So I think our team will put the survey. You can scan it on the screen. There is a QR code here. Or I think our colleague Ping has already give you the URL. You can double click it to click it, because some of the PC might not able to click it. You can copy it, or you can right click it to open it on your browser. It's just a few simple questions. Your feedback is always important to us. This will help us to grow the our service, and also to make our workshops better. Hi Annie, yes, please complete and submit the survey. We will share you the simplified versions of the slides. Hi Nexus, yes, please complete and submit the survey. We will send you the simplified slides, especially at the part of how can you take the full advantage of our online marketing. I think yes, Aaron just send the survey link again, or you can scan it. If you are unable to scan, right, you can actually you can scan it on the screen. There is a QR code, or you can double click it and open at the right. Due to the limitations of the Zoom that don't allow people to have a clickable link, there are some computer, because of different version, they are able to click, or you can try to copy it. Yeah, the last one, the last resolutions, maybe you might want to type it, and therefore will make it a very short URL for you. Sorry, Del, about it. You can scan the QR code. The QR code is on our slides. That on the question page. Hi, Ganti. Yes, please submit your survey. We will send through email to whoever that completed this and submitted the survey. Thank you, everyone. Hi, Candy. Due to the overwhelmed request, I suggest you to complete and submit our survey, and our colleague will attend to your request later. You cannot scan the survey. Okay, let me try to do this. We will email you all the source that we can to collect the feedback, and then please help to submit as much as you can. Is that okay? We will email you the survey form. We will email to all the crowd today. So please submit it so that we can know who is interested to get our slides. Okay, so thank you everyone. Stay safe. So we will end the meeting now. Take care. Bye.